What's up, Spartan fans? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com for another Coach's Corner here at Cocca's Pizza in Boardman. Cocca's Pizza, the proud sponsor of Spartan Athletics and Spartan football all season long. Again, thanks to Steve and the appetizers and things he does for us here each week. And proud to be joined again by the head coach, Seth Antram. Seth, thanks again for joining us another week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so 2-0.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean to coach, 2-0? How's that feel?
That was, going into
Part of
week
the process.
1, yeah, we wanted to be 1-0. Going into week 2, we wanted to be 2-0. So
now we just
part
want
of
to
the journey
continue
for
on.
sure. Right.
Talked with Stephen Conta, another great Spartan athlete. He kind of had the same sentiment, 1 week at a time. Is that something that you try to instill in this group every week?
Yeah, definitely. Some of it, just that mentality. Win or lose, you got to move on to the next play, next game. And this, especially for that senior class, I keep talking about them, but each week is the next step we're taking along this journey, and we're going to see, where we come out on it. But like Steven said, we just want to come in each week, Monday through Thursday, get better, and then, should walk away with the W on Fridays.
We talked last week, and I asked you week 1 to week 2, big improvements. I thought I saw a lot of things improve from your football team. From your standpoint, what was one of the glaring things that you saw a huge improvement in from your football team?
The main thing that stood out was that last drive, just being able to respond to adversity. Like we had mentioned, we didn't see a whole lot against Mooney. We were kind of in the driver's seat the whole time. So just to take that step and have a game like that early in the year is something we can build from for sure.
With Coach Antram, Coach's Corner, played Chaney last week. Very physical football game. I was able to watch. That was one of the games I had on at the studio. That big offensive or defensive line of theirs, my goodness, and the skill on the back end of them. I thought it was a great football game. You go up 9-0 and left some opportunities, I think, in the first half to bust that open. But coach, that's what impressed me the most. You get behind and a great drive, running the ball and throwing it. A good screen pass, well executed. The blocking downfield was phenomenal. Talk about that from a coaching standpoint. That has to be good for you as a coaching staff and the kids to see on film. This is what we can be, and this is some of those things we can build off. That was a phenomenal drive to take the lead.
Yeah, like you said before that, we missed a post early, had a holding penalty on a pretty good first or second down run. But to come back and respond how we did, and that's just on offense, but look at what our defense did the whole time. I mean, they battled the whole darn game and did what they needed to do. We put them offensively in some situations that we wouldn't have wished for, right, but they responded every time.
Yeah, and I thought after you get the touchdown, a great defensive drive to end the game, got some pressure on the quarterback, got him out of the pocket. Are they a hard team to prepare for from an athletic standpoint? We talked last week. Yep. You miss a tackle at 2 yards, it can be 80.
Yeah.
The skill level, and I thought that was one of the better games that they've played. Not a whole lot of mistakes either side of the ball, played it pretty clean. That was a really clean football game between two good teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. They're a really good team. I know they've, had some unfortunate injuries and everything. The Waller kid got hurt against us even. But that's a good football team. So just for us both to play hard and come out on top, that was huge.
Well, congrats on a big win. It had to be nice for you to see some of those guys from the staff and some of those players. How was that for you?
It was interesting. Coach Chris and I hadn't talked for a few days.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk. We talked about that. Okay.
Weeks, but no, it was great to see them. I can't say enough about that whole staff. What those guys do for the kids and everything, it's great, and the kids respond, and it's shows on the field and off the field what they're doing for them. So.
Well, they do a great job, and you were a big influence on that. Chris has said that many a times. With Coach Antram, Coach's Corner, sponsored by Cocca's Pizza. Proud to be here again at Cocca's each week. Coach, glad to have you come and join us each week. We talk a lot. It's nice to come to a place like Cocca's that sponsors Boardman football and helps out the community rather than sit in the basement, which I'm sure we will do when it gets a little colder. But from your standpoint now, you go into a big game. I wanted, and then I asked Steven this, school's in now. Does that change a lot throughout? I mean, obviously kids are in more of a routine. from your standpoint, is that a bigger help now that they're in some, not that they weren't in a routine during doubles and off season, but now it's a even more structured routine?
Yeah, we try to, find the positives in it. For us, we start practice 15 minutes later. And we know where they're at beforehand.
Sure.
And a lot of these guys have 7th period off, so I get to see them around, 2:15 or so. We start at 3:15, so we can get some extra film in. And like we've been trying to build that culture with family and stuff. So just being around them that extra 45 minutes, maybe stepping away from football.
Sure.
And then 3:15 it's back on.
Is that special? It has to be special when you can get kids that you coach to come in and sit down and get away from football. That's an awesome, man. And talk about stuff that, kids and coaches talk about other than the sport they're coaching. I think that's awesome. And you head into this week against Massillon Jackson. For the Spartan fans, talk a little bit about Massillon Jackson.
They're a very good football team. Not very many weaknesses out there. Kind of not new defense. We scrimmaged. Elyria was in a 3-3 stack. That's what Madison Jackson's in. If they stay in it against us, what they've showed on film is 3-3 stack with a kind of a star roll down safety like we have, and staying too high on the back end. And then offensively they're sound. They have a real good quarterback. Started 4-year starter. Started at St. Thomas Aquinas, and then went over to Massillon Jackson. Been starting there 3 years. They do some good read stuff, and he has an arm and can throw.
Yeah, I put a little pressure on Steven. I told him he's going to get that big pick on Friday night, so I hope that comes true. But you travel now. I mean, it's a little more different travel than the Rayen Stadium for the Chaney Cowboys. Take maybe the Spartan fans through Friday on how this team will prepare, getting ready to get over there and play.
We were fortunate. Our 2 scrimmages, we were at Elyria and we were at there was Finley at Worcester College. So we have a little bit, of experience with that. But right now I'm kind of in the process of working to try to get us some food, get the guys in there early, watch a little film, and hang out with each other. And then, we're kind of, once we get there, we want to get out to the field and get going. So we don't want to leave too early that we're out there, just.
I was going to ask you, yes. Some people, you get there too early and there's not a whole lot to do.
Yep.
And you get there too late.
Yeah.
So there's got to be that happy medium that you get to work on along with a lot of other things for Spartan football this week. All right, so some of your keys, right? Again, we talk progressions and we talk team getting better. Again, I go back to the big fellas on the line of scrimmage. I talked with Steven about it. A lot of them are playing both ways. Starting to see some depth develop on both lines of scrimmages. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's been pretty beneficial for us, and we're still trying to build that. We have a couple more kids. Kyle Barnett stepping up. Ken Matwood on the defensive line is going to be stepping in this week, just to give those guys a break. The starters have been doing a heck of a job, but when you're in there, offense, defense, special teams, that's going to wear on you. So we're definitely trying to create the depth and get, in better shape along with it. We've been doing a little more conditioning to try to keep those guys fresh. But if we can keep creating the depth, we'll be all right.
How hard is that to do? I mean, during a week of practice, I'm saying that has to be hard when you're working on these are the schemes. These are the things we're working on, yet you want to get these guys as many reps as you can. Do you find yourself at times not getting as much as you want them to get?
Yeah, and that's where that 45 minutes before practice
comes in handy. Sure,
trying to get some of those guys that maybe haven't had as many reps. Trying to see it. It doesn't have to be from that 3:15 to 6:15 time slot that we're getting with them. So if we can get them, film, mental reps, walkthroughs during that time, that they hopefully catch up quick. Well, definitely quicker than they would if they weren't getting
That's an awesome answer, and that's great for me to learn on my end of what we do with Coach Antram. I love where this program's going. I appreciate it. 2 games in, I'm a big talk guy. I'm a big social media guy. I see a lot of positives. I see a lot of community support. I talked about it with Steven. I love looking at a student body. What's the theme week for the game? And it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't have anything to do with the game, because it does. Without student bodies, we talked how different that was. That has to make you pleased that in 2 weeks you're getting not only your football team to buy in, but I'm starting to see a lot of followers and people believing in what you and the staff's trying to do with these kids.
Yeah, we're trying to, expand it. We want to expand that culture through the whole school and through the community. And, a lot of it has to do with how great this senior class is off the field. People want them to succeed, not because of their football talent, but just because of how great of kids they are. So teachers, other classmates, they're jumping on board because we have such great kids.
Yeah, well, hats off to the Boardman Spartans and to the two guys we've done on a player profile, Sean and Steven. You don't get much better than that.
No.
You don't have to worry about those two guys
Exactly.
when they graduate from Boardman
Right.
High School and what they're going to do in the future, because they just, number one, they speak so well. And they are very team oriented, and that's a credit to you and your staff for getting seniors to believe in something the new staff's trying to do. And in any sport, that's not easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot again. Week 3, Massillon Jackson. Spartans going to go 3-0. What's the key to beating Madison Jackson?
Same as always. We got to block, tackle in space. We need to take a step offensively this week, though. They're going to put some points up on the board. We're going to have to do a few things different offensively to ease up the pressure on our defense. We had 2 good days of practice so far, so I think we're on the right track for that. So yeah, put a few more points up on the board and do the same thing we've been doing: block, tackle in space, and cover the ball.
All right, let's put some more points on the board. You call the plays, right?
Right.
All right, so let's put some more points up on the board. I have 2 good questions to end for you. First one, I'm curious to see where you go. If Coach Antram could be a professional athlete and pick the sport he'd love to play, what would it be?
Is being a pro coach an option? Or
Yes.
Oh, I can coach?
Yes.
Oh, I'm coaching. I'd actually, my dream was, probably still is, but I'm very happy where I'm at. So I don't know if it's a dream anymore, but I always wanted to be a college football coach. That's where I was at.
Okay.
So
that's a good answer.
I love the schemes of college.
And the atmosphere and the work.
And
college football is like a 24-hour job. Is that safe? Not that coaching isn't a 20.
Right. Yep.
Is that something that you would still like to do down the road?
I think that door kind of closed, and I'm okay with it.
Well, yeah, I'm okay with it too, because I like where you're at. That's good. Good.
But yeah, if back in the day, if I had to choose to be a pro athlete or a college coach, I'd pick college coach.
I love that, because I would probably done the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a big dream to play it, but I think it's a better one to coach and help people. All right, last one. Coach's favorite vacation destination.
I don't get many vacations.
Okay, so
right now, probably Topsail, North Carolina, I guess, and I haven't been there in 8 years, but that's where I was at when I was in North Carolina. So I have a lot of good friends down there I'd like to go see, and they're always hounding me all summer to come down. And
then you have to get back down there.
It's just tough.
And it's easier said than done when you're in 7-on-7 and then it's conditioning and the job of a football coach. But Spartan fans, you have yourself a good one, Coach. From all of us at YSN, DJ, Brian, Quinn, myself, we thoroughly enjoy every week covering your players and covering your football team, and look forward to a great year. And let's go get that big win against Madison Jackson and talk about the Spartans at 3-0 next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Seth. Good luck. All righty.